Getting rid of moving objects is super easy in Resolve. We'll talk about some limitations you need to know and how to solve some common problems. In this first example, we're going to be getting rid of this surfer here that's fallen off his board. With the playhead over the clip you want to change, head over to the color page, and you can see here we've got one node. I just turn that off. This is just doing some color grading. You could have multiple color grading nodes or not be doing any color grading at all. What I'm about to show you will work either way. First thing we need to do is add a new node that we're going to use for our object replacement. So you can either right click and choose add serial node here, or you can hit Alt S on the keyboard. Next, we're going to add a power window, which is a bit like a mask. If you're not already on the power window tools, just click this button here, and also make sure in this drop down list here, you've got this power window turned on. This is just going to let you see what you're drawing. I'm going to use the mouse wheel to zoom in, and then come down here and click on this pen icon. This is going to allow us to draw the power window or the mask. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to carefully draw around the object that we want to remove and hit Z on the keyboard to zoom out. But if I play through this, notice that that mask is actually not going to stay on that surfer. To fix this, we need DaVinci Resolve to track this mask as the video plays. That's pretty easy. Come over to this section here, click on the tracker, and then just click these two arrows, and this will automatically track forward from where we added the mask. And when it's finished tracking forward, it will then track all the way back to the beginning of the clip, which you can see here. The first thing you're going to want to do is check that this mask is actually following the thing that you want to replace. And you can see here the DaVinci Resolve tracker has done a really good job. Z to zoom out. Now that we've got our tracked power window, we want to open up the effects here by clicking here. Click the little spyglass to open up the search box and search for object removal. Drag this object removal effect onto the new node that we created. There's three basic sections in this tool. The first section here is the analysis section. This is going to tell DaVinci Resolve to play through the clip and try and figure out how it's best going to remove the object. The second section determines how it's going to render the replacement once it's removed the object. And the third section here, clean plate, is what we have to use if the object removal is not able to do its job by looking ahead in the video. But we'll get to those things in just a second. The first thing you need to do is click this scene analysis button and then wait for DaVinci Resolve to play through the clip and analyze all of the frames. It doesn't usually take too long. And if you're really lucky, instead of seeing this grey area here, you'll actually see the object has magically disappeared and it's been replaced with the background. What this grey area here means is that DaVinci Resolve hasn't automatically been able to figure out where to get pixels from to replace the object with something that looks like the background. But that's not a problem, we can fix that in a second. Let's quickly go through this analysis section. If the thing that you've drawn your box around doesn't actually move and you've not even needed to track it, then you can tick this assume no motion box. But as the title of this video suggests, this is all about getting rid of moving objects, so we're not going to tick that box. The next thing is this scene mode. We've got a few different options. By default, it's boundary. What this means is that DaVinci Resolve is going to look around wherever we've drawn our power window to try and work out how it's going to remove the object. If you want DaVinci Resolve to look at the entire image or the entire frame, you can change this to background and then click scene analysis again. But you can see in this instance that hasn't actually helped us. So I'm just going to double click this to reset it to the defaults and click scene analysis again, just so we're working from the original analysis. The second section, this render section, is telling DaVinci Resolve how to render the replacement for whatever we're removing is. So it's not a case of just removing this object. DaVinci Resolve has to remove what's inside here and it has to actually replace it with something, otherwise we're just going to get a black shape, which is not what we want. The first way we can tweak this is by changing the search range. By default, it's at 20. So that means DaVinci Resolve is going to look 20 frames ahead to try and find some pixels that it thinks will fill up this area and look realistic. Sometimes you might want to increase this, and you can see if we increase it to the maximum, it's helped a little bit. What we're doing now is we're saying that look all the way up to 100 frames ahead to try and find something to fill up this area. But even looking 100 frames ahead, DaVinci Resolve has still not been able to get quite enough information to fill up this area. And of course you can drop this all the way down to 0, which means it's not actually going to look very far ahead. Ideally, if you can work out how to get rid of all of the grey by just adjusting the search range, that's going to usually be a bit better than what we're going to have to do next. So I'm just going to reset that, and we'll look at blend mode in just a second. Because DaVinci Resolve hasn't been able to figure this out, we're going to have to come down to this third section, the clean plate section, and we're going to have to click this button, build clean plate. DaVinci Resolve is now going to take some pixels and it's going to essentially use clever logic to try and fill up this area with pixels that make sense. There's some advanced options here where we can get the clean plate data from an external source or a grey image. We're not going to do that here. But you can see now we've got rid of all of that grey, and if you come down to this drop down here and we actually just turn off the power window overlay, you can see that this is the area that's been replaced. We do have a couple of little black marks here though, and that's just where the original power window wasn't quite big enough. So let's go and fix that. By the way, if you want a really short, easy to read guide on how to edit faster in DaVinci Resolve, check out my DaVinci Resolve editing field manual. It'll be the first link in this video's description, or scan this QR code to learn more. All right, back to the video. Rather than having to redo everything again, come back to the power windows, and you can use this size under transform to either decrease or increase the size of the power window. So if we can make it really big, which we don't want to do, so we just want to increase it a bit, and then come back to the build clean plate button and click it, and now you can see we've gotten rid of the tiny bits of feet that we had left over. What I'm going to do is turn this off, and I'm going to hit Ctrl D on the keyboard to disable the node. This is the before, and this is the after, and that's done a really good job. What you do want to do, however, is play through the entire clip just to see how it looks, and you can see here in some parts it's not looking too good at all. You can see that we can kind of see the shape that's been replaced, and that's why it's really useful to turn off this power window section. So I'm going to turn that off again, and we're going to try and fix that. The first thing you can try is changing this blend mode from linear to adaptive blend. And this really works best if you have changing light conditions or changing colors as the clip is playing over the area that you want to replace. And you can see that's helped a bit. But again, what you want to do is play back the entire clip just so you check for any weird looking artifacts. That's looking pretty good, but you can see we've got a bit of an edge here. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure we're in the power window section, and we're going to go and increase this soft one setting. And what that's going to do is it's just going to apply a bit of feathering. If I turn the overlay back on and increase this softness, if you go too far, it's actually going to feather the inside too much and make the object appear again. So just increase it the minimum amount to try and blend in that shape. Something like there should do it, and now you can play through the image one last time to double check for any problems. All right, let's have a look at another example. In this example, we're going to get rid of this bag, and notice in this example, this bag is a little bit bigger than that surfer was. So once again, we'll come over to the color page, Alt S to add a new node, power window, pen icon, zoom in with the mouse wheel. If the object has a shadow on it, make sure you include the shadow in your power window, otherwise things will look really weird. Next thing, tracker, track forwards and backwards. Double check the power window has been tracked properly, which it has. Add the object removal effect, click scene analysis, play around with background scene analysis. Nope. If that doesn't work, play around with the search range, and I hope you're getting the idea here that not every scene is going to work in exactly the same way, so there is some trial and error. I'm just showing you what you need to do to try and fix common problems. So changing the search range is not helping us here. I'm just going to reset that, which means we have to click the Build Clean Plate button instead. Let's turn off the overlay and zoom in a bit. Now, if you didn't know this wasn't here, you probably wouldn't even notice it, but because we know it's there, we can see that it looks kind of a little bit odd, not 100% perfect. What you can do is change to a different frame and then click Build Clean Plate again to see if that helps. It doesn't look quite as good there. We'll try a different frame, click Build Clean Plate, and that looks pretty good. Play through the video to make sure there's no weirdness, and straight away there I can see that in a few of these frames you can kind of see the edge here. First thing we're going to try is changing this to adaptive blend. Again, play through the image, always play through the image. You can see there's like a flickering there from adaptive blend. So we're going to turn that off, back to linear, and that's going to get rid of the flickering. We don't really have much change in lighting here, so we don't really need to use adaptive blend. But as we did before, what we're going to do, come back to the power window section, turn off this overlay so we can see what's happening, and then just add a bit of softness, but not too much, otherwise the thing will reappear. Normally, you don't need to add much softness just to try and get things to blend in. If this softness value doesn't work, try increasing this outside softness, which is just going to add the feathering to the outside of the power window, as you can see here. So we're going to use some combination of those two things. We're just trying to concentrate on this area and this area here. Let's take a look at that full screen, and we'll just play that back. And that's done a pretty amazing job. Again, if you didn't realize there was anything there to start with, you wouldn't even be looking in that area. For this final example, I wanted to show you some of the limitations of the object removal tool. You can see in this version here, we're going to try and remove me from this mountaintop, but because I'm a lot bigger in the frame than some of those other things, and the background is a lot more busy, and we're getting bigger as well as we get closer to the end of the frame. If any of these things are true, especially the size of the object removal tool is probably not going to do a great job. And I'll show you what I mean here. You can see if I play this back, this area here is really not doing a very good job. There's an even easier way to remove objects in DaVinci Resolve if they're not moving. Check out this video next to learn how you don't even have to worry about tracking your power window. I'm Jason Roberts, please subscribe and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.